house and we wore sarees at the regular wear because Amma and aunts, they all wore it regularly.
The fast pace of growth, sometimes people don't sustain if they're not ready.
Any piece of bad advice that you received?
Oh.
Can we start? A very warm welcome to the Leaders of Tomorrow Vodcast, your go-to series for unfiltered conversations with entrepreneurs who are shaping the future of business. I'm Ritwika Gupta and today we're talking all about sarees. One brand that's making waves in this space is Suta, which blends timeless saree craftsmanship with contemporary design. What makes today's Vodcast even more special is that the co-founders are sisters. Yes, joining me today are Taniya Biswas and Sujata Biswas, the brains and heart behind Suta, to share how they turned a 6 lakh startup into a brand winning over a whole new generation of saree lovers. So Taniya, Sujata, welcome to the Leaders of Tomorrow Vodcast. I'm really excited to be having you on this and looking forward to a conversation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
very
us.
Very excited.
What makes this even more special is that, this is, I think, the rarest time that we have the founders who also happen to be sisters of the same, brand. And I love the name Suta, which I'm guessing is the amalgamation of your name and your name, right, together. But what is even more interesting is that you both had stable corporate jobs to start off with. So, how did you guys think of, starting a saree brand, and also tell us at what point did you realize that, okay, now a dream is going to finally become a decision?
Very beautifully put. Yeah, so both of us are sisters and thankfully, or not so, but we've been traveling a lot together because of our father's job. Yeah. So we were each other's best friends, constants, no common school friends, no common neighbors, nothing like, it was like very crazy for us to figure out a constant for us. So when we grew up, we have picked up similar things together.
Yeah.
For example, traveling to villages, we used to learn weaving, we used to learn how to navigate our way through the villages, climb trees, jump in ponds. We knew all of that. So that's childhood influenced a lot of what you see now, how Suta is built and how we are. And impact, I think, entered our head since childhood because we always spoke about it that these people who are so skilled in the villages, why do we say that they don't have money? I'm like, they are more skilled than we are. Mm-hmm. So I think that always stayed in our head. And through the years, of course, we studied a lot, studious kids. So we did engineering, MBA, landed in corporate jobs. I think that was a quintessential or expected thing that everyone knew we'll do, and we did it. But that kida that was there in our head that, we have to create impact. Mm-hmm. And our love for sarees made us start Suta, honestly.
Yeah. Whose idea was it actually? I mean,
It was not one fine day we just realized that we want to do sarees and work with weavers. Of course not. It was every single day when we used to come back from work. We used to sit over a cup of tea and say, is this what we want to do all our lives? Is this something that is making you extremely happy if you die tomorrow? Will you die happy? We always spoke about it since always. And one day we are saying that let's do this, another day let's do that. We used to wear sarees to the office and we used to get a lot of compliments, but also that aaj kya special occasion hai? And are you meeting a special boy or girl or what's special? So we thought that why is it irrelevant? And that's from there we said let's bring it back, let's make it a regular thing again.
But you had a great idea, but if I'm not wrong, you did not have background in fashion or retail or business, right? So what were the initial learning curves like? Did you have to educate yourself about the market, or what was the first few steps that you had to take?
So business we knew because we were MBA students, and but because of no family background, right? If you see something happening, some things enter your head, and growing up you just know some things. But we were so clueless, honestly. Learning something and actually starting something is completely different. And that to textile, which is a very core knowledge, right? You can't just acquire it one fine day. You get up and say, "Oh, I'll just start learning." It will not happen. So for us, it was scary that, oh my God, it's a vast sea, and even though we love it and we have grown up seeing textile, how to buy, while we were procuring, people would cheat. All of that happened to us. So it was very, very hard initially that, when we were picking also, we were always worried that what if we won't be able to do it. But the basic business knowledge was there, so we knew how to run a business. We knew we have to be profitable so that we can run it and we can actually create the impact that we want to create. That was there. And because we were very, very foolish, like, how do you say, we were very hungry, more than foolish, we were very hungry to know, learn. We started grasping things faster because we just knew that we wanted to create impact. That was always there. And for that, we'll have to, every step of the way, we'll have to keep asking questions. And even if we look stupid at that time, that's how we would learn or navigate the way through it. So.
Fantastic. And now it has been, what, 10 years since you started the brand?
9 years, 9 and a half years.
Wow,
yeah.
Congratulations. But tell me honestly, if you were to look back, would you think entrepreneurs are made or they are born?
I think it's a mix of both. So some people have a natural knack of picking opportunities. Some people have a knack to take risks. In our entire family of mom and dad and everyone, no one has done business ever. So it's not, we are not born, but I think it makes you become an entrepreneur every single day. You make a mistake, you pick yourself up and you start again. That teaches you so much, and every step of the way you are becoming better and better. And then you take risks, you make mistakes again and again, and you keep growing and showing up every single day. That's how entrepreneurs are made.
Okay, so I have a very interesting question. If sarees could talk, hypothetically, if sarees could talk, what does Suta saree say about the woman, that's wearing it? What would you want it to say, rather?
Such a nice question. I think both of us might have similar answers. So
go ahead.
My take would be, Suta saree will say that, be you. I'll just wrap around you and you can just do whatever you want to do and not be bothered about something you're wearing. So be comfortable, be you, do whatever you want to do. This should be something that is just being with you and an extension of you.
Yeah, I think be you is what the sari would say for sure. And also saying that, let me be your second skin. And go live your life, win it.
What I find interesting is that, it is almost a $6 billion market, the sari market that we are in, and it's also dominated by a lot of legacy brands. So when you first started out, what was that 2 or 3 things that you knew that, you had to create an USP, for, like, what are the 2 or 3 key factors, especially because you were appealing to, like, a new set of buyers, the Gen Z, the millennial women out there.
These legacy brands have done a great job. They kept it alive. They are still doing it. But what we felt is that it's not relevant amongst the new generation. And because they are running away from it, we wanted to bring it back in people's lives as a natural thing. It's not pushing it. It's not saying that you have to wear a sari. Sometimes we always see a lot of these traditional attires in the museums. I don't want sari to become like that, tomorrow. And it's just so sad to see that, because it's such a beautiful attire. We have just made it so complex by saying that you have to wear a matching blouse, you have to put a foreign edging yourself, there's so much complexities around it. We just wanted to make it simple for the Gen Zs, and I think that they appreciate authenticity, it becoming in their identity and not just a costume, and all of this, and also a brand with a value. We just gave them that. They talk about the stories, they connect with the product, and that's how they just accepted it. It was not pushed, it was not told to them. So I think that's what we did differently, the storytelling
more than
bit.
the packaging, that's what I'm saying, the storytelling bit. I think I was coming to that more than just the product, obviously worked a lot on the product, thinking what is not there, we have to get it. So that's one. But then to package the whole thing around by wearing shoes, by saying short hair is okay, to say that it's okay to not wear a pin or put a flower or put a knot.
You guys have ready-made saris as well, ready to wear.
We have made ready-made saris. We said wear sari short if you want to. Just wear the way you want. I think the whole idea of making saris so complex by making pleats proper, pallu pinned properly, that's what scared a lot of people. That if I wear it wrong, somebody will tokofy me and say, hey, this is not the way to wear a sari. And I wanted to be, or both of us wanted to be some role model, like you just wear however you want to. Nobody is going to stop you and chase you and say that it's wrong. So I think we did that.
Yeah, I think the storytelling and authenticity, something I completely agree with. But there's also one more thing: is your pricing strategy. I think affordability, among the younger consumers, I think that also made the brand really appealing. So talk to us a little bit about that, because your products are ranged from, I think, 1,500 rupees to all the way 50,000, right? So what was the idea behind that?
We wanted every person who walks into the store or the website to like something, to have something that they can own. And some pieces are affordable, some pieces are aspirational. It's a mix of everything, And comfort is something that we never leave behind. That's our primary goal, to make attires comfortable. I think that's what the entire range is about, and hence everyone gets something for themselves.
Also the thing that, it's not about price tag. So how some brands say that I should fall in this price bracket. So both of us, how she said comfort was the most important thing, price tag would come secondary. So even if a person who's bought a 1,500 bucks Suta or a 1,800 rupees Suta will not shy away from saying this is Suta. I would still, so somebody who understands impact, understands Suta, will proudly say I'm a Suta queen. I have worn Suta. Doesn't matter how much the price is, because there's more value attached to it than the price tag. So I think to make the brand go there where price tag wouldn't matter, and I'm not saying in a costly way or in a cheap, none of the price bracket would matter, and nobody can compartmentalize as a brand which is cheap or expensive. And that's what the strategy I think we both wanted, that you look beyond price tag, because there's impact attached to it. You cannot just make the saree look, because of the price tag, say that this is a cheap saree or this is a very expensive saree, because there's something else apart from that.
Right, I completely agree. Now you started with 6 lakh rupees, you bootstrapped with 6 lakh rupees. And I think for entrepreneurs, who watch our show on a daily basis, right, I think they will get a lot of inspiration from you, because, sometimes it's all about taking that first step, bootstrapping and investing your money. Although 6 lakhs, it may not be such a big amount, but it's still your own money, right? Tell me, what gave you the confidence that this is going to work out, like when you first actually put your money into it?
We didn't know it'll work out or not.
I just thought that if we are very passionately doing something, and we are putting our 100%, a lot of hard work, it cannot fail as such. It may not fly, but it will not fail really,
Absolutely, yeah.
And we just felt like since the quality of the product is so good, once people, once they wear it, I know they'll come back. And that's the quality of product I will make, is what we always thought. And it was scary. And since we earned it in a very hard way, and we are from a middle class family, and we paid our loans, saved, and then started this business, we respect money. We are grateful towards it. We spent every single penny very mindfully. Didn't waste anything, didn't do anything just to show people that, wow, look at this business, etc. Had a garage as an office where people walked in, and we painted the walls ourselves. Even if there were no racks, we kept it on newspapers very nicely stacked. We were very proud of it. Yeah. And I think that worked out. And whenever you put so much hard work, people see it, and people admire you for it. People love the brand, and if we do mistakes, people very happily forgive us. And I think that's a business that, even if it will not fly off or become like a legacy brand, but it will sustain, it will grow.
So yeah, we had thought it will be like a 8 to 10 crores brand, because it will be a very niche. Our kind of customers would want sarees, but never thought it will have such a great demand, and people were looking for this. So we didn't know that it will transcend generations, or it would, like everybody would wear, different age group, different price bracket, everyone could afford, or some people who even felt that this is not so too cheap, it's very affordable. They would also buy it and wear it with pride. So I think that just changed the whole game for us.
Well, you guys definitely did something right, because right now you're sitting on almost 100 crore brand, or over 100 crore brand, if I'm not wrong. Congratulations.
75 crores,
That's amazing, to start off from 6 lakh rupees to 100 crore brand. That's an amazing journey. But tell me, what are the challenges right now, as compared to when you started off? Now that you're established, now that you're, scaling, what are the kind of challenges that you're encountering right now?
So many. Scaling is hard. I think the moment we are scaling, we realize that you can't bring perfection to everything. You can't look at small things. And the moment at scale, things get distorted. So how to make the base super strong is the key for anybody who's growing or looking for growth. And the biggest challenge right now would be that the market is super crowded, right? And and there are so many players, to be honest, the Tatas or Reliance, everyone is in this saree business, right? Everyone is there. And we're all competing for the same set of customers who are saree wearers. And they are not just our competition, not even that saree, right? We have to enter a salwar kameez brand or competing with them to just get the tiny share in their wardrobe that they start keeping sarees. So everybody, a jeans, denim or a top brand, everyone's our competition. So just to make that entry, and because of with your quality constantly proving it, but there are so many brands that are coming into picture, it's hard to maintain that that position of power. It's not easy. So
I'll tell you about another challenge that we are facing right now is we started as an e-commerce brand, and we aced it. We loved social media.
Yeah.
We loved talking to the customers. We had fun. We grew really well. But we also felt that we are only reaching a certain set, the customers which is buying online. It's comfortable to buy online without seeing it. But how many exhibitions can you do? How many people can you reach? So we realized 3 years back that we should have retail presence, and then we started expanding there, and we felt that somehow online can plateau beyond a point, and hence retail should pick up. So now our new challenge is understanding retail. We have 17 stores across India, but it's like a different business altogether. Of course, the product could be the same, but how do you manage inventory? How do you do merchandising? It's again like a new business after 9 years. So we are figuring that. Again, going international, how do you reach people? So it's like reinventing your business again and again.
And it's always nice to be in an environment that's always dynamic. You have something to look forward to, something new, to look forward to every day. But tell me, what's the earliest memory that you have of wearing a saree? Like if I were to take back to your childhood, was it like a function? I mean, of course, when you were kids, but perhaps, do you remember your...
Yeah, definitely. It was when mom used to wear a saree and just, open it on her bed and would take a shower. She should have gone, just left it like that. We just take it
play with
out
it.
of the bed, and we just drape each other however we can. And we went to our neighbor's house, and we used to showcase, like, look how we are looking. And we used to go to all the neighbors' home and take a plate and take food from there, because we used to love different kind of food. There's a person who was Telugu, there was the Odia family. So we used to have the food, we used to showcase, we used to entertain them, and we used to come back home. So that's what we used to do.
We were full entertainers, and we wore sarees at regular wear because Amma and aunts, they all wore it regularly. So for us, saree was another attire. Though our photographs were there for like Saraswati Puja and all of those pujas, Durga Puja, we used to wear sarees. But regular wearing sarees, early memory was always that we'll put like a skirt on our head and saree to look like those grown up women, and we just go around.
I think every girl would have done that at one point or the other.
Absolutely. Well, from draping each other, you're like draping an entire generation of women. Well, congratulations on that. But I also read that, and why I find this interesting is because, a lot of the entrepreneurs that I speak to on the show, they often go the VC route, initially when they're starting off, but you guys decided to opt for a bank loan. I want to know, what was your thought process? And also because right now entrepreneurs have a lot of options. They can opt for a VC, they can opt for a loan, they can opt for maybe a grant, or of course, if they have the money, to stay bootstrapped. But what would your advice be in that aspect?
It all depends on the pace of growth you want for yourself. So none of these are bad. These are all great options, right? So for example, if you know that your pace of growth is slow like this, and you don't need money at all because the business will fund for itself, just stay like that because there's no need. Sure. The moment you're taking money from anybody, cost of money is high, right? So, and depends on the risk appetite that you have, and also what is it that the money is going to do for you. So for example, for us, we knew we needed the money for just growing a little bit more, for which we couldn't sustain ourselves because our business was it's a good size, right?
Yeah.
So we needed money. So we thought the next better option is to go to banks. So we went to banks, there was revenue-based financing, everything's available, right? There are different tools. So figure out what's your risk appetite, what's the percentage that you're going to get out, and also if your business is going to be churning out that revenue immediately with taking money, go for loans because you have to pay EMIs. It's not that going to just take the money and sit. But for VC, which will give you so much time to sit with the money, and you need the money and the money is going to push you forward and give you good growth, and you can return the money, or there's the exit that you can give, why not? Like, fantastic, just go for it. For our business, we realize that, it's a business that revolves around sustainability. We work in a certain way, and the base is weavers. We can't just scale up the base, right? We can't just suddenly grow and take that without fixing a lot of processes. So for us, we kept focusing on smaller growth, and hence bank loan makes sense for us. So we are there.
I always think that sometimes in my fraternity in B school, when someone says that I've raised, they say congratulations, and a lot of noise around it. But I just feel like VC funding is not a goal. It should be a tool. It should be a tool for your growth. So all the celebrations around funding will it's like now pat on your back that somebody has approved. It's an affirmation now. So I think that it should not be that. The reason to raise money from VC should not be that. It should be the tool to, again, the next steps has to be there. And I feel like we said sometimes in the past, a lot of companies have celebrated for the wrong reasons, I feel. And you think that the fast pace of growth, sometimes people don't sustain if they're not ready. And I think that if someone is going for it, they should be prepared to understand what you do with the money and not just make money out of it. And because it comes with some pressure of growth. And if the partner does not respect the vision that you have, the growth will go in random directions and it will fail. And I think choosing the right partners for growth is very, very essential. So, you can take the right steps and grow beautifully.
No, absolutely. And now that you have started making some serious money, tell me, has that relationship changed with money over the years? How do you view money personally right now, or professionally?
Very interesting question.
Yeah. Again, I think it's the same thing. For us, money is just not a number in the bank account. It is, again, a tool for us to make sure that ideas that we have transition into reality, and all the opportunities that we create for so many people now, it stays the same. So money will do that for me. I can create more opportunities for people, impact more lives. So
money is actually power, right? To be able to change something. So if you think power is a selfish power, that's when everything goes wrong. I think the moment you see money as yours, it is never yours. You're not going to take it anywhere.
That's very interesting.
It's a tool.
Absolutely.
It's just a tool to make difference. So the moment you see money as power to do something great, money will only grow for you, because you are just thinking in a very positive direction. The moment you think you'll just hoard, acquire, keep it for yourself, it won't stay, right? Because you're not doing anything with it. So I think to be smart about money, what it means, because if today I get the money in my bank, 1 crore in my bank, would I go and buy a new car? No, I will not. I'm not that person. So we are not that person. Do we start eating
different dreams? Yeah,
correct.
We don't.
Do we start eating differently? No, we will not. So we knew what we wanted. I think from day one we were very clear that if money comes, what are we going to do about it? So I think that gives us a lot of clarity, also a lot of humility, and just we are thankful the moment when we make profit, when the PAT is positive, grows. We were just thankful that okay, we can take bigger steps, better steps. We can also take risks. Now we're not scared, because that becomes a safety net for us.
Yeah.
So all of that helps. I think just being aware helps to just tell yourself what money means to you. And it's beautifully asked question. I think nobody has asked us this question ever. So it's a very, very nice question. Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the weaving community, and the textile sector here in India? Do you think India has the potential to actually make a mark globally, as far as textiles and, the weaving community is concerned?
Before answering it, I got goosebumps. I'm like, so much potential we have, and we have just scratched the surface. The potential that is there, we have not even started doing things with it.
Yeah, nothing is celebrated, right? There's no storytelling, there's no written documentation about so many weaves. And if you see, some countries celebrate very little things in such a magnificent way.
Right.
But if you go and see every part of India, there are different kind of weaves which take months to be made. I think that's not even spoken. Nobody knows, and I think us Indians also don't know. The moment you see something so beautiful, you realize, wow, it's magical. I think we ourselves need to first understand, and then it will go to the world. I think it's high time that it starts spreading.
Our country has immense potential, and weaving community especially has to keep doing what we are doing. And I think they just need that visibility. I think it's not push, not money, it's just the visibility. If one's given to these weaves, it's gonna fly. It's just gonna go places.
Any piece of bad advice that you received?
Very bad advice was, why are you doing sarees? You know, like if everyone is running away from it, why, do something which is absolutely not there? And who buys sarees online? So I think it's just questioning what has not been done and keep doing what bigger brands are doing, But you do not have to follow trends or do not have to follow brands who have succeeded in doing something all the time. Of course, you can take insights from there, but not that your idea is wrong, that you cannot take a risk and, put your money there.
Nice.
I think I would just say the VC thing we discussed, but
Yeah.
so many people came and said, this is the right time to take the money, like, baad mein tum pachtaoge. So the fact that people think that, good days le lo, bad days nahi milega by chance, I think that's a very wrong piece of advice, and that creates that unnecessary pressure. I don't know how many people succumb to this pressure by just taking money for the heck of taking money. Ki bank mein rakh do yaar, matlab le lo. And I don't know whether it's I somehow internally, if I just have to think about it, I think it's wrong. But I've heard it
do not have
multiple
to
times.
Run the same race, and every business or every person has different goals. And just because everyone is running fast, you don't have to just ride the train.
Yeah.
And I also, this another advice that grow fast or you'll perish. Scale fast. Koi aake kha lega. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you can have a sustainable growth, be profitable, and still sustain 100 more years. I mean, nobody is going to eat you up. Of course, there are bigger players which can make things a little tougher for you. But if you think that they are also creating the same market for you, for example, saree brands, they are also creating the saree segment for you together, you can always do things with them, and don't have to just run.
So, we also talk about the 80-20 rule. I'm not sure if you heard about it, but it's like the 20% of your actions influence 80% of your success, right? So what would you say was the 20% of what you did right that has led to where you are today?
It's very interesting. I think for us, biggest was listening to customers. And I know it's beaten to death. Sab aake wahi bolenge because we've read growing up that and while growing up. But to be honestly listening and sincerely listening and getting that implemented, even when you're growing. Initially, when you're small, you're obviously listening to everyone because kuch na kuch advice and then you get money. But the moment you grow, still making sure that the store staff is giving you the information coming up and you're actually implementing it. Yeah. I think that's what is super, super critical for us. Any 2 customers or 3 customers saying the same problem, we immediately act upon it. So our customer success team is super powerful. One of the most powerful teams in the company. If they come with strategy pointers, so the strategy meeting, they come with pointers, everyone's like, oh my God, I hope they don't take my name, I hope I'm not on any mistake, because if they have said the problem again in 2 meetings and it's not done, we are livid, so that's how we take customers seriously. So I think that's
I think
one
listening
of the
to customers is one thing we have done completely right.
Yeah.
I think something that wouldn't have been possible is that without storytelling and without being relevant as a brand, you wouldn't have sustained for so long.
I think the one more point I would like to add in this 20 is absolutely critical, and I think with growth it came, is absolutely being a hawk on the numbers. If you slip, if you don't understand it, and if somebody is giving you wrong data, you can just turn the business around and just literally vanish the next day, because you're taking calls based on the numbers that you're seeing. If you haven't understood how your 100 rupees is getting spent everywhere, you can literally say bye-bye to the business. I think just being very, very alert and looking at every number as, the right costs and fixing the price, and it has to make sense, because at the end, if the money is not there in your bank, the P&L could look wonderful, but it's at the end of the day, you need the cash to run. So I think that's super critical. We have slipped. I think the last 2 years we struggled with that, and I would say that I think the last 2 years were the hardest, most difficult years. This year was a turnaround for us. We worked really, really hard to make sure we're structurally better, and costs are absolutely looked at thoroughly. But it's super critical. I think if you slip there, nothing can get you back.
Great. Now I read that Taniya is the heart and Sujata is the brain. But tell me, what happens when the heart and brain disagree?
We have to live in the same body after all. So you have to make your peace. Either the heart cries or the brain cries or whatever. But we solve every problem of ours within the next 2 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. Earlier when we were kids, Ma told us that don't take your fights to the bed. So it would be before sleeping we sort it.
We have to resolve it.
But now, at this point, when we see so many lives and people depending on our mood or life, the decisions that we make, 5 minutes maximum is what we take. Beyond that is
Yeah, also it helps that even if we both are yin and yang, but then the way we think is very similar. So half the time when she's answering, I would have thought the same answer. So very rarely would our answers be also different. Even like if you have rapid fire, I'm telling you, if I'm answering Rekha, she will also answer Rekha. It's like that crazy.
Maybe we should have a rapid fire.
Yeah, it's very weirdly similar the way we think. But we do have arguments also because elder sister, younger sister equation and all of those come in. We also live together, both of us with our families. So because we understand our personal and professional side very well, we literally sit down once a week at least to have that conversation, that straight discussion without anybody being there, that what I hate about this, whatever happened, and how she hates about whatever happened. We resolve it then and there. And that helps to just make sure that we both of us are on the same page.
Like open, healthy conversations, right? Yeah, absolutely.
It happens, yeah. I think it also is a lot of hard work towards it. And no two people, be it siblings or partners or friends, can not have honest conversation and, be okay with it or be peaceful with each other, So I think we have worked on it and it works wonderfully.
So tell me, a lot of our viewers are also women, who watch our show. And I want to, ask you by way of advice to the entrepreneurs, as well as women leaders, right? Because I do feel like sometimes, they tend to question themselves a lot more than perhaps their male counterparts. A lot of self-doubt, maybe the imposter syndrome or whatever you call it. How do you deal with that? Self-doubt especially.
It's always going to be there within us, I think. Even if I say that I've worked on it and I don't doubt myself, I think every being does it. I think women do it a little more. I've seen so many people not voice out their achievements as much as they do. I think one advice I would say is that own your achievements, Say it out loud. Trust your voice in a group full of men or women or whatever. Trust your voice. And I think just try to be bold and human. And not think that I can do it all, and even if I'm burning and dying, I'll still do it all. Ask for help. I think that's something that we have mindfully been doing, and it really, really works wonders.
Fantastic. Sujata, what about you?
I think guilt is real. I think you just cannot run away from it. But with every day practicing to not feel it or to overcome it, just practicing it helps. And just it's like discipline, right? You just train your mind and body that even if it's there, I'm going to live with it. So figuring out a way, and everybody will have a different way to deal with it. Some people would maybe, if let's say I'm feeling guilty about over achieving something or being the best in the room, and I'm feeling guilty about, I don't know, my peers or my family, what they're thinking, to just work around it with it. So every day to telling yourself, I think half the time we don't talk to ourselves, and that's when things start building up because you have not spoken to yourself. Your head is overthinking something else. So just to be at peace with yourself by telling yourself that what has happened will just help you, because that discipline starts to happen, to build. So even if you are maybe write it down or tell this to yourself by sitting down calmly and thinking about it, what has happened, why am I feeling this weird feeling of uneasy feeling that I'm having, that I'm this imposter syndrome, or is it too much? Have I said too much about me, or have I been too bold, or maybe too courageous, or too high achiever? Then what do? So I think just talking to yourself helps.
But no, as you're wrapping up this conversation, tell me one piece of advice for the entrepreneurs who want to get into the business of sarees, the business of passion, and storytelling. What would that be?
It's a very simple advice, not too complex, but very difficult to achieve, is that don't lose your authenticity while you're building something. That sometimes you flow away in the social media world, or because there's a huge availability of information out there, you sometimes forget who you are or what your business stands for or brand stands for. Just hold on to the authenticity of yours and you will shine, and people will remember you for that.
Sujata?
Saree business, or because you are saree business per se, it's a crowded market. And what happens is that when you are doing something, right, it seems easy. So you start doing everything yourself. I think that's when people go wrong, is because it's the egg and chicken story. When do I spend the money to get more people on board? Super critical that you understand what your strengths are and get somebody else to help you out. Hire the right person at the right time. Otherwise, the business will not grow, and there'll come a fatigue that you'll feel that, oh my God, I'm doing the same thing every year, and let me just step out of this. And a lot of times we've heard friends or friends or entrepreneurs just that they have just left because there's no growth or there's nothing happening different. How will it happen unless you change things? And I think change will only come in when you have more brains coming in. I think at Suta, there's so many hearts and brains come together. Our dream is no more just our dream. It's everyone's dream that has accumulated and become bigger, and we're all working towards it. So unless you work towards it, get good people in the team, it will never happen. So it's never a one-person journey or two-people journey. It's always a team effort. You have a team.
Yeah, combined dream.
Yeah, and both of you have, fantastically balanced profitability and passion, and I think that is something our entrepreneurs will really, really, admire about you and take away. Well, thank you so much for your time, Taniya and Sujata. This was a lovely conversation.
Thank
Same
you.
here.
Your questions
Thank
were
you.
absolutely wonderful.
Thank you so
Enjoyed
much.
chatting with you.
I'm so glad. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Before we wrap up today's episode, here's a quick look at our LOT cheat sheet, a quick rundown of the top takeaways from today's episode. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Leaders of Tomorrow Vodcast. Stay tuned for more inspiring conversations and keep chasing those big dreams. Until next time, this is Ritwika Gupta signing off.